everybody. It's Steve Lever, the Executive Director with Imagination Theater. We, like all of you, are trying to figure out this new life of isolation as long as we are in this epidemic that is going around. And being a participatory theater company, it's a little bit challenging because we rely on our audience's participation in order to make our programs run. So we were thinking, how could we be helpful to you during this time? And one of the thoughts that we had was that everybody's looking for something to do. We're all kind of bored. And there are many different theater exercises, games that we can be playing even within your family unit with parents and kids and brothers and sisters that can just have some fun and also maybe teach some social emotional learning as well. So what we plan to do is have a new posting of a new game or exercise that you all can play together as a family while you're kind of cooped up inside waiting this thing out. The game that I am going to teach you all today is one of the most popular games amongst my students, and this could be played for pretty much any age kid and family. It's a game called Late for School, and this is how it works. There are three essential roles in this game: the person who's late for school, the teacher, and the other students in the classroom. Now, the person who's late for school is the guesser in the game. So they're going to leave the room for a few minutes while everybody else decides two things that they're not supposed to hear. And that is why they were late for school today and how they got to school today. Now, these reasons should be crazy, absurd reasons. So you don't want to do something normal like they were late for school because their alarm clock didn't go off and they took the bus to school. You want them to be something like they were late to school because a dinosaur came and crushed their house. And they got to school by riding on a spaceship. Now, once those two things have been decided, the person who is the late for school person, the guesser, is going to come back into the room. Now, here's where the other students in the classroom, it's their job to act out these two things: why they were late and how they got to school. Now, the keys to this are working together as an ensemble. Ensemble is a term that we use in the theater to talk about a group of actors or a group of performers. So, what does it mean to work together as an ensemble? You need to cooperate and you need to listen to one another to make sure that you're working as a team so that the person who is late can guess. So we want to decide who's going to play the dinosaur and how are we going to portray that it's a house that the dinosaur crushed, those kinds of things, right? It has to be completely silent, though. Now, the teacher's role, you're kind of the person in the room who's helping the guesser a little bit as they get close to guessing the correct thing. So if the person who's late is, saying something like, I was late because I was driving a car, and you're like, no, that's not why you were late. And then they get finally to a point where they say dinosaur, and you can say, oh, yes, a dinosaur. A dinosaur did what? So you're just kind of helping and coaching them along. The teacher also has one other responsibility, which is a fun little twist on this game. And you may not be able to do this twist if you only have a few people, but if you have a bigger family, this is a fun thing to include. And that is at any point in time, while the person's guessing and the students are acting behind the teacher's back, the teacher can turn around, catch a student in an awkward position because they're pantomiming and acting something out, and say, hey, what are you doing out of your chair in that position? And immediately the student will have to come up with a realistic reason for why they are in that position in the classroom. So they may say something like, oh, I just dropped my pencil and I was going to pick it up. And then it's up to the teacher to decide if that was a realistic, good reason, in which case they would say, okay, thank you, go back to your seat, and you turn back around and continue the guessing game with the person who's late. Or if you think it's not a good reason, you can say, nope, that's not acceptable. Go to the principal's office, and then that performer has to sit out for the rest of that round before they can come back in. Nice little twist. Like I said, if you have a lot of people, that's a fun thing to do. But if you only have a few people, then you just kind of want the guesser to guess, that kind of thing. So that is how you play late for school. I will give you one other little quick caveat, and that is make sure that you don't do them both at the same time. So, for example, you won't get to how they got to school until the person guesses correctly why they were late. So we're all acting out why you're late for school, and then once they guess that, then get into how they got to school so that it's not totally confusing for the person and they're trying to figure it out, okay? So that is how you play late for school. It's a lot of fun. Everybody can play. Like I said, it's kind of like charades, and we all kind of know how to play charades. So I hope you have fun with it. If you do try it out and you're having a good time, please let us know, leave us a message, and we are going to come back with more games for you as long as this whole pandemic lasts and we're all kind of cooped up. We will have more games, so stay tuned to this channel, and we'll be back with more. Thank you. Bye.